What's going on, guys? Twon on the beat. I just wanted to go ahead and try to make another video real quick about FL Studio and how to use it and how I go about my workflow of making the beats. Hopefully I can help out somebody out there that's wanting to learn how to make beats. Me personally, I really love making music, whether that's on a guitar, on a piano. I'm kind of newer to the DAW systems, but I feel that if I am able to explain it, I'm able to go ahead and teach it a little bit to somebody, that I can also have a better understanding of how to use it. So today I'm going to go ahead and try to show you guys some of the stuff that I've learned, and we're going to make something very simple today, a very easy beat. I made a couple of these before, but this is my new channel, so I'm going to go ahead and try to upload the tutorials onto this channel and then have all the finished beats that I make on the other channel, so that way it kind of separates it. So when you guys are looking for tutorials, it's kind of easier for you to find them within inside of this channel instead of digging through the other channel like, hey, where's this tutorial at? So hopefully this makes it easier for everybody. So right away, we're just going to open up the FL Studio. I'm going to go to an empty rack. I'm going to try to shy away from MIDI VSTs right now, such as S.O.N. I'm going to try to go ahead and do this all by hand for you guys. So right here, we open it up. We have the channel rack, and then we also have the first 5 buttons, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are all up top right here. The first one is going to be your playlist, and this is basically where you put the puzzle pieces that you make inside of the channel rack inside of here to make different progressions of how you want to do it. And then from here, you also have the piano roll. This tells you what button you're pressing on the piano, so you can write in notes here, different notes, etc. Our second one is going to be the channel rack, and this is where we're going to store all of our instruments that we're going to be using inside of the actual song. And that's going to be whether that's the piano, the drums, hi-hat, a lot of different things that you can put inside of a song, guitar, etc. There's a lot of different sounds you can actually put into here, which makes it very useful. So the third one, or the fourth one is going to be the mixer channel, and this is where you can turn volumes up and down if you don't like a certain volume, if it's too loud. And we'll go ahead and get into why that's useful and why we need that, especially in beat making, because I feel that you need to learn how to hear the volumes of different instruments, and sometimes when you're making it at the very beginning, you don't hear the potential that instrument could have unless you turn down the volume a little bit, and there you can actually see, oh, hey, this sounds pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and get into the importance of that. And then the last but not least is going to be our File Explorer or Browser Explorer. I just call it File Explorer because I use Windows, and that's what we call the File Explorer. But over here, you're going to find everything that you need. I usually go to all so I can see everything. And this is how you're going to find your sounds, your packs, but we'll try to make a simple, easy beat today. Another thing that we should go into too is that when you're making beats, there's a difference between the song and pattern. The pattern means these are the patterns you're gonna make, right? So right here, these are gonna be the different patterns. You can add as many as you want. And just go one and clone that. So there's gonna be a lot of different patterns that you're gonna make. And so you need to go ahead and pretty much know basically like, hey, I'm putting this type of pattern on what the pattern goes onto the actual playlist. Over here, like I said, so one's going to play the pattern and one's going to play the song, and the song is going to be basically your playlist. So it'll play through here, and if you're playing in pattern mode, you're going to be playing inside of here, and you can see it moving right there. So let's go ahead and just get started. I'm going to go ahead and add something very simple. I'm going to right click the sampler. I'm going to go ahead and replace it. And I just got this new VST, even though I said I'm going to shy away from them. But these are just sounds, so you can mimic my sounds with something else if you find. Flex is a good option, as well as GMS. If you know how to use GMS, you can tweak with it a little bit. But Flex usually comes with FL Studio 25, and they have a whole bunch of sounds that are just free for you that you can use. So let's just start off with flex, because let's go ahead and add just a piano. And I'm gonna go ahead and go to pianos, Steinway, because I feel the Steinway is pretty good. You can also go to like the Boston Dorfer is pretty good too. But I'm gonna use the Steinway just because I feel like it has a little bit more depth to it. So that's just how I feel. So we're gonna use that. We're gonna go in here and we're gonna hit Alt P on the keyboard. So ALT and P together. Oh. And that's gonna bring up our piano roll generated chord progression. So this is how you can make chord progressions without having to really know how to make the chord progressions. I did this on my last video, so we're just gonna go ahead and try to make an actual decent beat this time. So what I did is I hit space bar to play. And space bar is a good friend of yours. It's gonna be play, forward, playback, stop it. Space bar is when I'm hitting to hit play. Yeah, we're not gonna use that. We're not gonna use that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit this little tab right here. I'm gonna right click it, hit the edit, and I'm gonna go to, let's go E minor melodic, and I'm gonna generate. So right click, edit, E minor melodic. Basically that means like melody more per se. See, I don't like that one. I'm gonna change that one up. And right here, you can refresh the chord of what you want. Hey, I don't really like that. Or you can just press down and let's say you know what you want to put in there. You could put it right there. But I usually just use this button. And then this right here also adds the bass note for you. I recommend using the bass note right now, and you'll see why that's important very soon. I refreshed it. Alright, we'll go ahead and use that for right now. So like I said, I'm just going to try to make a simple pattern. So right here, I'm going to rename this. So I'm going to go to the pattern up top. I'm going to right click it, hit R, and I'm going to name these just the chords. All right. I'm going to create a new pattern that says R. So I hit the plus sign right there. So I go over here, hit the plus sign, and then it asks me to rename it. I'm going to name this the bass line. And that's going to be right here what I just told you why I think it's important when you first start making beats to put the bass line on, because you're going to be putting that into bass. So I hit over here, I highlighted everything, I hit control, and then I left click to highlight everything, control, left click, grabbed everything at the very bottom, I hit control C to copy. Control C, I tap it a couple times, sometimes it doesn't register, and I go to the new one, where and I use that by using the scroll wheel. So the inside of the middle of your mouse, you got the scroll wheel, it goes up and down. And I just use a scroll wheel to go up and hit control V. So I'll delete these real quick and then I'll hit control V as in Victor. Boom, it's in there. Then I'll go back over here and I'm gonna delete these bottom ones. So again, control, left click, drag to highlight what you want to highlight, delete. And I just hit delete on there and that's easy. Also, another way to do it, so I'm hitting control Z to go backwards. So I'll hit control Z. Another way that you can delete all this is if you're in the pencil mode or even in the paint mode, either one of these, you can hit the right click and it'll just delete. Control Z to undo that delete. Then let's say I just want to delete them completely. I can also use this right here. This is a delete tool, but be very careful when using this because you might accidentally delete something like that. And you won't know it until later on. So just be careful. So now I'm just going to delete this with just using the left click. So instead of using the right click, I'm using the left click. And you can still use both clicks. No matter what click you use, left or right click, it'll delete it. Oop. But I like to use the paint tool, and I usually use the right click to delete. So from there, I just got this. So from there, now we have our two patterns, right? So we got the chords and we got the bass. I'm going to click all the way up here, and I'm going to go to the playlist right there. It says playlist. Hit the chords, put it on the very top, and I'm going to switch it up from chords to song. Or pattern right here. It says pattern. I'm going to change it from pattern to song, and I'm just changing it by left clicking it, just clicking on it. So click on it, song. So you see how I just added the bass at the very end right there? So that's kind of how you want to do that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer this. What layering basically means is I'm going to add some more sounds to whatever I already have. So I already have the chords right there, and I have the bass right there. I'm going to go ahead and add a new pattern. And I'm just going to name this pattern chords dash or underscore layered. And I might do 2 layers or 3 layers, so just layer 1 for right now. And I'm going to drag that right there. Then I'm going to take these chords and go back to the piano roll, highlight everything, Control C, Control C, Control C, go back over to chords layered, open up the channel rack right there, and then I'm going to go down and I'm going to use personally Vital because I just got this and I want to mess around with it. They have some interesting sounds, so they got some real interesting stuff. I like that one. So then I'm just going to hit Control. I'm going to go back into the piano roll. So right here, like I said, the first 5. So that's not the one I want. Oh, okay, that's the one I want. Control V. See, so now the chords have some layer to them. Now if I just play it by itself. These dots basically mean that, like, hey, it's armed. Hey, it's on. If you click it with the left click, it'll turn it off. If you click it again with the left click, it turns it back on. If you right click it, it'll play it solo. If you right click it again, it will unsolo it. So I can go just solo, right click again, plays everything. Left click, it's not there. It's gone. Then I'm gonna go ahead and left click it again. So there you go. That's kind of how you do that. So from there, I have a layered chords, and you can get fancy if you makes it easier for you to rename these tracks. I like to do sometimes. Okay, so this is where I'm gonna put my chords at. Right click R, right click, hit R to rename. These are gonna be my chords. Right? Chords layered. And this one right here, right click R. I'm gonna go ahead and type this one as baseline. And then right click R, bass, layered. Right? So now I have my bass. I have my chords. Now let's layer our bass. So what also is a good trick about FL Studio that you can do is you can go ahead and hit right click on it, and then you can also clone it with a C. So right there it has like little dots underneath it. That's the shortcut when you right click. So if I right click and hit C, it clones it. So now I have another bass line, bass number 2. And what makes it easier about this one, so now I'm going to go back to the channel rack. 1, okay, that's not the one I'm looking for. 2, that's not the one I'm looking for. 3, oh, there it goes. That's the one I'm looking for. I'm going to hit the plus sign, and I'm going to add some bass to it. I'm going to add some surge bass to it. just because I like this little system too. And then from here, we can go to bases, and let's just see what they got. Ugh, too grimy for me. Let's go. If I was doing EDM music, that might be good. So let's go smoothie. That's not too bad. So I'm going to go over here and teach you another secret, a little trick. I'm going to grab this Steinway one, and I'm going to hit Control C. So you can highlight it by just left clicking. And I'm going to hit that, Control C it, and I'm going to go to Surge XT, highlight it again with my left click, Control V. So Control C to copy as in cat, Control V as in Victor to go ahead and paste it. And then from here, I'm going to right click the Steinway and I'm going to cut it. And that just deletes everything off of that rack. So it's not there. It's not good. Now without the bass that's layered. Now with the bass that's layered. So right here, we pretty much got like a little happy type of beat going on so far. So now I'm gonna add, let's say, high notes. Because we want to make some notes, right? We want to make some music. We want to have like a little melody to it. So let's go ahead and make the high notes right there. Right click R to rename high notes. And you know we got to layer that too, right? So high notes layered. Just so we know what it is, you can see what it is. Then we're going to go into the playing it, right? Now let's go to our piano roll. Let's choose an instrument we want. So we have the Steinway. We have the Vital. Then we have the Surge. But, you know, so there's different things. So I'm going to add a different instrument just for contrast. I think I'm going to add something from Flex so you guys can see me work with a little bit of Flex. And what I really like in Flex is their Central Winds. That sounds like it might be good. So let's just put that on there for right now. I might end up changing that later, but let's just put that on there. So we got high notes as our pattern. Go to our piano roll, hit that. Right. Okay. So from there, I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys something else that you can make. Let's say you're getting blocked in your head. Hey, I don't know what I should make. So we're gonna go in here. We're gonna hit Control C. I'm at the chords. The chords pattern, and I'm gonna go ahead and Control C it. Control C, Control C, and I'm gonna go all the way over to the high notes. I'm gonna hit this one that says flutes staccato. Control V it. So now the high notes are in there, right? Now what's really cool about FL Studio is you can just highlight everything, control, So control, highlight everything, control left click. And then if you hit the Alt and then A, it just comes up with the So I'm messing with the time, just moving it up and down. I just do it by left clicking it, going up and down. You can find whatever you want. And it's just called the arpeggiator, and that just helps you go ahead and create something really quick. Other than that, let's go ahead and just start adding some simple beats to it. And then let's go ahead and layer the high notes first before we move on to that. So from the high notes, I'm just going to layer it. So I'm going to hit right click right here, and then I'm going to clone it. So you can also do this over here too. You can right click it, clone it. You can also come over here, right click the pattern, clone it. So now I have two of them. This is the high notes number 2. And guess what we're going to do? We're going to find another sound. I'm going to bring up Surge XT again. No, wait. Let's go ahead and use Vital again. And let's find something cool.
Text away.
I mean, it's not the best, but you know. So I'm going over here, Control C, highlighted it, go back down, Control V, right click this one, and let's just cut it. I don't like it. You just keep on going through the tones. So I dare say we pretty much got all of our sounds in. Now you can layer these 2, 3 times, 4 times. You can layer them as much as you want. But from there, it kind of gets overwashed. But you also can, you know, it's very easy to get lost up in the sauce. But I feel like that's a good layering point for me. Just 2 of them right now. And then I'm going to go ahead and open up the File Explorer, the Browser Explorer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to go over here and we're going to add some, let's say, not sound effects. We need drums. And we'll do hats. And we'll just stick to regular hats that basically have, or that's inside of FL Studio when you download it. So what I'm doing right here is I'm hitting right click. And I'm going to open a new channel. And then I go right click, open a new channel. And what that does is it goes to your channel rack. So boom, now we got channel rack. And let's just open up a new pattern and call it hi-hat. I can't express that, you know, it's very hard when you start putting 2 instruments together to know what's making sounds if something messes up. So I do recommend trying to separate every single instrument to your best of your ability. Sometimes 2 instruments sound together, like that's your layer. It's like, okay, these 2 instruments sound good together, so I'm going to layer it that way. And then that one instrument is going to be the main part of the layer, and then the layer is going to be these 2 instruments. And I don't want these 2 instruments to separate throughout the whole song. Then that's good, that's okay. But like, in my opinion, I feel that you should separate every single sound that you put on there. So if it does start sounding wonky later on, you can go back and just, okay, well, it's this instrument. I can just delete that one. or I can just cycle through another instrument and try to figure out what sounds good for me. But let's go ahead and go right here. Fill each 2 steps. So I right click, the CH means closed hat, OH means open hat. So right here I'm gonna right click, fill each 2 steps. And then let's rename this track, right? So rename, oh, it's gonna be hat. So we got. Now the open hat's also good too. So what it does is gonna get the tss into it, right? So I like that, right? I'm gonna right click this and I'm gonna clone it. And that's gonna create a new hi-hat, right? And I'm gonna put that right there where the old hi-hat is. And this is just to get a feel for what I'm doing. And then from here, I'm gonna go to the piano roll for the hi-hat. So I'm in the closed hat right now. So I'm gonna go into the open hat I was in. I'm gonna go to the closed hat. And I'm gonna add some stuff into here. Now this is where it gets kind of fun and it gets kind of confusing. So I'm just gonna let you know like how I do some certain rolls and whatnot. So in my opinion, when you're doing rolls, it's like, right, I feel that you should do maybe 1 to 2 notches when you're doing every 2. So you highlight it, control, and then you hit control L. That's gonna elongate it, it's gonna make it longer. I'm gonna hit Alt U, and this brings up the piano roll chopper. What this does is it adds, here, let's see. Yeah, that's what's gonna add it, right? And let's go ahead and just add it a little bit faster. I want it just a little bit faster. So right there, I chopped it up to that, right? Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to just move. I want a hi-hat roll, so I want it to come down. So I'm gonna put these notes so you can hear it, right? So I want this to come down. If it'll come down. Control U or control left click, and then you can hit shift up. It'll move the note for you. Since it, so we're gonna go also do a low one too. And I'm gonna add this last one right here. Oh. Also, if you end up doing that on accident, this right here on the left-hand side will move it up and down. I didn't know that for the longest, and I was like, how do I get rid of this? But over here in the top left, or top right, sorry, right here, there's this little button right here. If you go up and down, it'll make it smaller and bigger. And then you hit control with the wheel. Control wheel will zoom in or zoom out. So I'm going to zoom in on this one, and I'm going to right-click it, delete that note. All right, actually, yeah. And then control left-click to highlight that note. And then control L to elongate it. Alt U, and we're going to do that, the other chop right here. So boom, now we got 2 different hi-hats. We have the then we have this one. So now we got 2 different hi-hats. So now we can add some bass to it, I guess, right? And it's all at your discretion, how you want to make your beat. So I'm just going to make something simple. It's probably ugly, but, you know. Open a new channel. It's an 808 snare. Now, everybody always tends, when you get to do it, I do this too. They always go for this 808. If you do that one, you kind of have to, like, add a kick to it. So we're not going to do that right now. I'm just gonna go down until I find something I like. I like the GRV kick 12. Open that one, a new channel. So now we got. Let's say I like to build my beats where the kick is above the snare. So if you just highlight this and hit Alt and then hit the up arrow on your keyboard, you'll move it up and down. So Alt, up or down. You can move it all the way up here. You can move it all the way down here, however you want. But I like the kick to be on top and then the snare, just so I can kind of like visualize it better. So I'm gonna go. Oh wait, that's the hi-hat. Let's add a new pattern now that says. I'm probably way over the time of 30 minutes by now, but let's just add a beat. Right? Boom, beat. Now we can just go ahead and add it. We can go the kick. So you can't really hear that one, right? I'm just going to use a beat pack that I have from Somatics. Shout out Somatics. They got some good stuff. I always use them on my videos. Just so I can hear it, right? Oh. Delete. Right click, delete. And you can just drag it, and I'm going to replace that. Everything sounds so loud right now, right? So we're just gonna hit Control, or you don't have to hit Control. You can just drag your mouse up and down, and then hit Alt L on your keyboard. Alt L. Oh, sorry, not Alt L. Control L. I was right the first time. Control L, and that's gonna send everything to the mixer, which is this one right here. I'm just playing with it until I hear something in the proper way I This is the master volume. This is the volume of everything else. You can see the name right there, Steinway, your Vital, your Surge, my Vital number 2, and my flutes. And then these are going to be all the bass snares, open hat, CH, closed hat, 808, open hat, Somatics 808 and it's tuned in C. That's what that C means. It's tuned in that C. And then I want this to kind of be in tune, so I'm going to go back to the piano roll. Control, highlight everything, and I'm gonna go up to E. I feel like it sounds good in D right there. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this last note, Control to highlight it, go all the way up. Oh wait, Control Z to go back. I'm gonna highlight it, hit Control up, and that's gonna bring it all the way up to the next octave. And then right here, what I want to do is I want to do a small roll to it. So I'm hit Control to highlight it, Shift L, oh wait, Control L to elongate it, Alt U, and then I'm gonna make this like that. So that way it looks like that, right? And then I'm gonna go right here is the velocity. And that's what that sound's gonna be like. Go back to song. So now we can just start layering stuff. I just deleted everything. I'm going to start off with chords, right? That's my layer. What I also like to do is hit the high notes, right? Go like this. And then maybe go like this in the second one. And then I'm just throwing it out there. So let's go ahead and try to make everything what it's supposed to be at. So these are the high notes. They're supposed to be right here, right? So that way you can kind of get what it's looking at. The hat's going to drop right before it. The high notes number 2 is right there. And I'm just going to add the beat right here on the bottom. Right? So, boom. Chords layers. Oh yeah, and by the way, if you just hit shift and grab it, you can clone it. You don't need to do too much. But so that's the layers 1. These are going to be the right? Okay. Add the bass 2 there. Clone everything. Bass 2 is supposed to be right there. Bass right there. Shift, clone everything, drag it over. Shift, I'm dragging it. That's the wrong one. High notes. Oh, go back to our piano roll. That was the piano roll. Go back to our playlist. Boom. That was probably way over 30 minutes, but you know, my fault. It gets like that. And what's also good for when you're starting beats, like this beat's kind of trash, but what's really good is when you have, you can also click around up here in the 25, 1 through whatever. This will move the playlist where it's supposed to start playing at. But right here, you add some silence to it. Like, I wish I learned this when I was very first starting to those. Like, it adds a nice little drop, but there you go. It may not be the best beat ever, but I hope you took something away from there. Hopefully you learned some shortcuts, something else like that. Anything, you know, that can help you. Please give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Subscribing is free, man. Like, just help me out so that way I can sit there and keep on making these videos. Let me know that you guys want to keep on seeing them. If you guys want to keep on seeing them, and then maybe I can do like a whole, you know, 1 hour long video, probably longer. I probably already did an hour long today, but maybe just like a long video, a longer video of really getting into layering and everything else like that, and really just making a full on beat for you guys, so that way you guys can understand, you know, how I make beats and what's a good way to fill the vibe out and everything like that. But, you know, hopefully this taught somebody something. I mean, that's the whole point of why I'm trying to do this. I was having a hard time figuring out what to do inside of FL Studio when I was looking at it, and I was like, you know, I want to make music because I enjoy making music. I play the guitar, I play piano, but I wanted to, you know, do something that, you know, I can put online and, you know, share with other people. And I also like, you know, hip hop music a lot, so I figured, you know, why not try to figure out how this system works. And so this is what I've learned a little bit so far. If I feel like if you felt like I missed anything, just go ahead and please let me know. But I really appreciate y'all just tuning in and just hanging out with me, having some fun, going through my ups and downs, and just, you know, watching me do my thing. Hopefully you learned something. If you have any more questions, feel free to hit me up. But from now on, we're going to be trying to post all the videos onto this account for tutorials, and then the S.O.N Productions is going to be for all finished beats that I make, so that way you guys can check those out too. They're all royalty free if you're not trying to make any money off them. If you are trying to, hit your boy up so I can sell you a beat or two and just give you full access to all the files and everything. If you're looking forward, if you want to, maybe collab with me, feel free to hit me up on the email. I would love to try to work with people and try to my best to get better at what I'm doing. But other than that, I really hope you guys have a blessed day, and I appreciate you stopping by for real. It means the world to me. So happy beat making.